The internet has changed everything. Digital technology has changed everything. It's changed the way banking works. It's changed the way governments work. It's changed the way we entertain ourselves. It's changed the way we educate our children. And of course, it needs to change the way in which we educate adults in higher education. Now, I want to stress that I firmly believe that residential education is incredibly important and brings a value way beyond what you can get in a purely online experience. But residential education and online education are not mutually exclusive. I think there are many ways in which we can and have to learn how to use technology, both to be more effective and to be more efficient in what we do. And if we're going to be a leader in BEST, we've got to lead in that area as in so many others.
We've been using technology for many years in higher education to improve student learning, student outcomes. But the nature of the conversation in digital education is different, and it's far from complete. The Mount Rushmore of digital education is still scaffolding and chisels and jagged rock, and there's an opportunity for a great public university committed to openness and access and social justice and diversity and the highest quality learning experiences to be that face of public education in the digital education world. With 100 programs in the top 10 and quality and scale in nearly every way, Michigan has the opportunity to showcase the learning from really important experiments in digital education. I think we have a real opportunity to lead this discussion and to provide examples for other public universities around the world to really think critically about how to use technology to enhance learning.
At the end of the day, Michigan is a public institution. Michigan is a great public institution that takes its public ethos very, very seriously. And so in some ways, digital education, greater breadth, greater contribution, it's all part of what we have always been at Michigan.
Public universities have a special role to play in higher education and in American and global discourse, I think, about knowledge generation, about scholarship, about science, about progress. That role is one of making sure that what we do serves practical purposes to the greatest extent possible. So their theory is important, basic research is important, but we're always trying to think about how that filters back out into the world and to connect with those publics in very direct ways.
We need to leverage our expertise over the last 200 years and look forward to engage in a global learning community. And again, if you look at a lot of the innovators in digital education, it's the private institutions. And I think we've got a special obligation to the state, to the nation and beyond that others don't have.
We have a responsibility to teach our students as well as we can, but we also have a responsibility to share the magic that we figured out how to build at this university. And our students are part of that, our teachers are part of that, our faculty is part of that. The whole system is designed to enhance teaching. And when we get that right, we should give it away to the rest of society. And that's why a public university, to me, is so important to this, because it is our nature to do that. And we've done that with research all along, but now we're starting to do it with teaching.
We can experiment. We can see what works and what doesn't work. We have faculty who are willing to do that, to take that kind of innovative role. We have students who are very interested in coming to a place where they're going to have experiences that might be very different than elsewhere. And through that, I think we can create a set of practices that are going to really influence the university of the 21st century.
That's part of the mission of a public university, to be able to change the world, not simply to replicate what's already there, but to move people to an entirely different space. And I think that being able to do that well requires that we really understand where everyone's coming from, where they're going to, and what happens to different kinds of students when they're on campus.
So this is an opportunity, and it's also a threat and a challenge if we don't use these resources, because the next generation of students communicates in ways that are very different than the way we communicate right now. And if we want to engage those students, and if we want to be effective leaders, we have to experiment. And some experiments will be successful and some will fail, and that's okay. And we'll learn from the successful and we'll move forward.
as a public institution who is focused on educating all folks as well as doing research on that information, I think, that it's a public good and that we need to continue to be the leaders and best around a lot of things. And if you look at the University of Michigan, that we've been the leaders and best in a lot of things, right? So medicine, education, nursing, library science. I mean, there's just, if you think about all of the folks who have come through these doors and what they've done in their local environment or globally, it's because we're a public institution and we're open to everyone.
The University of Michigan has this opportunity to really differentiate. What does it mean to be a great public research university in an age fueled by technology, fueled by connection, fueled by evidence and analytics? What do you do in that world, right? And the thing is, there are a handful of public research universities that have the capacity, either financially, risk tolerance-wise, temperament, love of the experiment. There are a handful that have the capacity to ask that question, to really lead in the definition of the public research university going forward. And if Michigan doesn't step forward, I don't know who else will.